Okay. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Clear up the backlog. Full turners. Please do get your votes in early and get your votes in as soon as possible, or even simply actions. I will be responding to questions at least when the streams start around post time on the weekend. Uh, mm, mm, ah, oh. Uh, 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 mm, uh, mm, uh, with good progress towards uh, magical brewing potions is of all your arts, potion brewing is among those that requires. Hey Zed, how are you? I didn't see you yesterday. What's up? I'm assuming you were busy, but oh. uh, no, I don't see any messages from you yesterday. And I know for a fact that I had my YouTube chat, like, visible. I'll double check, but I believe that there was no message from you yesterday. So if I go into live, check here, and then I go into here, and I check the... why can't I see the chat logs? Your live chat replay, yada yada yada. Yeah, I see no message from you through the entire chat replay. No worries, man. Okay. I mean, it depends on the recipe, right? A lot of them have good, decent baking recipes in a rice cooker. Nothing. You can do it. Requires Vicosa? What's Vicosa? I follow your ads brings one that requires the least. Focaccia? Focaccia? Yeah, unfortunately, that is not something you can make in a rice cooker. Because it requires a different baking environment and like some significant heat. So, if you do say usually, the thing about baking in a rice cooker is you get temperatures better suited towards steaming than you do towards broader bread baking. I think rice cooker focaccia. Oh, hold on, there is okay, so there is bread you can make in a rice cooker. And there is... Why is there a TikTok recipe for rice cooker focaccia? The hell is this? Okay, so I might be mistaken, and that there is indeed a recipe for rice cooker focaccia. It's just a huge pain in the ass. Oh no, okay. Their rice cooker has a baking mode. Okay? It's not that this can be done in any random rice cooker. Their rice cooker just has a baking mode that lets you set a time and temperature. That makes sense. Of all your arts, potion brewing is among those that require the least. Of all your arts, potion brewing is among those that require the least. Yeah, that I'm assuming is not enough. Go for it. Cheers. Of all your arts, potion brewing is among those that require the least equipment, and is easy enough. And what it requires is easy enough to cart along with you as you. What it requires is easy enough to cart along with you. Of all your arts, potion brewing is among those that require the least equipment, and what it requires is easy enough to cart along with you as you. And what it requires is easy enough to cart along with you as you. is among those that requires what requires is easy enough for you to cart along with you as you. Easy enough to cart along with you as you travel to visit the golden. And fire is similar. Not. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Mm, uh, and fire is similarly not a particular issue to gather for your testing. Making say handling your experiments while on the road is hmm. 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 Handling your experiments on the road while on the road is a fairly effective way of and frankly, you need some way of and frankly, you need some way of really unwinding after a second week of burning through work before leaving the Sumi Valley once again. Hundo. Did I do that right? Hey, I did. I'm experimenting with a new mouse. I'm not super happy with it, but I do it right. I might be barely happy, so I might be useful enough. Nice. Progress of progress 6 to 13 on 10. You aren't you aren't sure what perhaps the wealth of test subjects in the various critters that you are able to capture is helpful in your experimentation, but you see yourself making progress. Leaving a series of incinerated. You're awake. You find yourself rapidly refining the small animals. Refine the recipe into something that first works and then progresses quickly from there. Not only does this recipe does this by the time you see the see what the frack is it called? By the time you see a temple in the distance, you no longer need you no longer have to deal with piles of ashes in the morning. Deal with piles of potentially magical ashes in the morning. Instead, your potion has progressed to the point that you have even tested it on yourself and the others in your travel party. Not only does it indeed confer the ability to withstand withstand the flames of your campfires, even when set up to burn both hot and clean. But you also find that applying the substance to the minor burns that you received during the early stages results in rapid healing, inducing recovery in mere moments from even the from even serious um, um, even serious burns. You're talking about my mercenary clan quest and my what do you call it? My marching quest. Uh, Honestly, I I don't actually read that much specifically for the story. I do read a bunch of Battletech stories nowadays, but that's mostly because I'm getting into the fandom and trying to pick up on stuff that I'm not as familiar with. A lot of what I'm focusing on with marching is trying to get better at character writing and speculative sci-fi. So, for example, one of the things that I read a lot of speculative sci-fi. I have read previously, like a long time ago, a lot of speculative sci-fi, and then I will occasionally do math to make it more viable, right? So things like, I'm currently looking into the radiation pressure exerted by the sun on a surface and how that would compare to the station keeping velocity. Say, station keeping what do you call it? Station keeping altitudes for uh for like BattleTech jump stations, right? Um, and yeah. Inducing recovery in mere moments. Even serious bonds are practically wiped away as you apply the substance to your thing. But yeah, that's like the reason why reading speculative sci-fi and looking into research for things like radiation pressure and stuff work is because of the story, right? So because, like, for example, the reason I came up with the shroud for the story is not like it isn't because I'm particularly familiar with stuff. It's actually like I didn't know I'd heard about this NASA technology that they were testing where they're using inflatable crew capsules for a possible improvement to the space station. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And I think like 2 weeks after I wrote that chapter, I saw a short about a Chinese company who are using inflatable coverings for construction sites, and that's basically what the shroud is. So, yeah. Uh, uh, I like stories where there's a notable sense of progression, right? Like in this story, not in this story, but in marching, there is this sense that Jun is getting more and more capable. Like they started off barely able to create a water purifier or like barely able to fix some trucks. But by the point that I'm currently writing in the story, Jun is among the better, one of the greatest minds in the inner sphere when it comes to designing space technologies, right? They're revolutionizing the inner sphere over and over to the point where if they, and they're going to be forced to pretty soon, like once they're forced to actually start unveiling their technologies, they are going to be able to turn what is like a tiny, like effective, the equivalent of a third world country into what is the equivalent of a global superpower over the course of like a couple of years, right? So yeah. Yeah, it's like I like having stories where not only the characters change, but the world changes. Right. So if so in the case of marching, you have this whole universe where like Jun is changing because they're learning about the inner sphere and they're adapting, and like one of the big things that we're going to see coming up pretty soon is Jun being forced to accept that they can't just react to things, right? There's going to be like I've kind of talked about in the plans is that so far Jun has basically been saying, yeah, like I understand that the whole BattleTech universe is like all of this fighting and shit and yada 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 yada, but they don't really understand what that means, right? So they're just kind of going along with it and saying that, yeah, BattleTech is like BattleTech is um say, oh yeah, the inner sphere is dangerous and people will try and kill me, but I've got all my cool shit, right? I've got like my defensive turrets and stuff, and and that's enough, right? I can keep doing what I want, and I don't need to worry about these other guys beyond the fact that they're occasionally going to try and assassinate me. But that's not something Jun can do long term, right? Because they're going to say, everybody else is not going to let them just exist peacefully, because Jun is like what Jun wants to do screws with their personal interests. Like, Curtis hates the fact that, like, Curtis Hydroponic hates the fact that the Vita purifier is better than their Trifel system, right? And they've been screwing with Vit for who knows how long, and with the proliferation of Alats and Cosmos, the pirates that are around the Lothian League and the Illyrian Palatiate are realizing that, yeah, shit, if we leave Vit alone, they're going to make it impossible for us to be pirates. So we have to go fuck with them. And Jun is kind of realizing that just because what I'm doing doesn't directly hurt people is not reason to say that, sure, it's just going to be like some people who are angry and are going to try and assassinate me, whatever. There are going to be people who are at a certain point just going to say, yeah, fuck it. Like, they have a very different definition of what the threshold for, yeah, I don't have fucks to give at this point is, right? Because Jun is saying, okay, I am holding back technologies like inertial damping technology and all of this that is like this complete lost tech that no one else can replicate. But they also kind of didn't realize that just better applications of existing inner sphere technology is already enough to make other people pissed off at them. Right? And now they're dealing with that as a general problem. To your injuries. Gained. Gained. Potion of fire resistance. But yeah, so Jun is changing, the people around Jun are changing, and the whole world changes because of the story, right? I really dislike it when the world feels static in a story, right? It's part of the reason why I can't really get into comics, is because in a lot of comics and a lot of cartoons, there's this status quo that just keeps getting reset. And that is the most boring cop-out bullshit that I find in a lot of stories. Because I like to see the universe react to the stuff that's happened. Right? I like these big arcs and like changing responses. Like one of the things that I have going on in the background that won't be seen for like a few more years in the story is that Jun made a friend while they were on Bolin, who is like a minor noble in the Lyran Commonwealth. But the thing is, the Lyran Commonwealth is known for their social generals, which is the idea that they're armed. One of the big things holding back their armed forces is the fact that they tend to be like ridiculously corrupt, and their all of their generals and all of that are like bribing their way into high level positions in the military, which means that most of the upper echelons of their military are really shit because they like it's not really competence that gets you high in the ranks of the Lyran military. It's like connections and bribery. But as a result of seeing Jun basically like transform the business world through sheer competence, one of Jun's friends, Faustina, they basically say, look, money is one thing, but money comes from competence, right? Like, people buy our shit because it's better than the other stuff, and that can apply everywhere. Which means that because of just mere exposure to Jun, the Lyran Commonwealth got an actually good general. And like this is kind of a massive thing, because we're going to see, like, in a few years' time, like once they have had a chance to go up climb the ranks a little bit, they're going to be like this massive impact that's just kind of completely like tangential to Jun's efforts, right? Because Jun does not seriously concern themselves with ground level military tactics. Jun's favorite military tactic is bomb them from orbit, right? Via the use of core toms, because they have zero interest in a lot of military technologies. So their answer to a lot of problems is just let it rain missiles from the heavens and just utterly devastate land-bound military positions and shit. So, hey 32, how you doing? Actually, I'm gonna be right back in a second because, yeah. But yeah, I was just ranting about the fact that I hate stories that just like keep returning to a status quo. Or at least I don't find them interesting. I don't really hate them, but I can't find it in myself to like really like stick with them for a long period of time. Okay, so you know how in like some cartoons, you might get like a couple of episodes where things change, and then after that, everything goes back to the way it was. Right? This is pretty common in serialized cartoons and shows and stuff, because the general idea, yeah, like in SpongeBob, right? Like where the idea is you don't want an episode where you need to have watched the previous episodes to watch, because you want a viewer to be able to drop in at any point in the story, any point in the cartoon, and enjoy the episode as an individual thing. And like I get that, but it's not for me, right? Because I like to see, yeah. So I like to see things change over time, and that's like a thing that I focus on with stories like Marching and with a bunch of my other stuff, is that I have like permanent changes happen to the setting as the story develops, right? Where I'll have in Marching, there's already a big change in that, because of the proliferation of the water purifiers that Jin made earlier. There is a bunch of expansion in the periphery, because they were the ones that were being like the most constricted in terms of interplanetary logistics, because they had to move large quantities of fresh water to maintain farming, to maintain like livable populations and all of that, which meant that suddenly they have a bunch more cargo space for high value goods. And one of the big things is that water purifiers make borderline livable worlds livable. Like, it doesn't matter if if the only water sources you can find are like horrifically acidic or like completely toxic because of heavy metal poisoning, right? The Vita purifiers can deal with that, and you can get clean water, and then you can wash the soil and get reasonable plantations going, and like you can start cultivating things. And that means that, hey, worlds with like high metal content in the soil that are like really resource rich but would have been a pain in the ass to like mine, are suddenly much more plausible. Or you gain access to like military strategies that weren't possible before, because water purifiers mean that like, no worries, no worries. But like, I don't usually deal with power scaling, right? Because either the main character is powerful for a reason, and therefore power scaling is irrelevant, or the main character has no reason to be significantly more powerful than the rest of the universe, right? So, like, in this story, Jun needs to be powerful, right? Because part of marching is that at the end of the story, the inner sphere will be a completely different place. And for one person to be able to reshape an entire interstellar civilization, they need to be monstrously powerful. There's no getting around that. They need to be smarter, they need to be like flat out better than the rest of that universe. But if I take a different story, like let me think. I've got a few stories that have been like that I can consider. So this is stuff that I haven't posted and will never post. But I had a story that was based around like it was this girl genius story, right? Okay, why, like, to my understanding, the reason Sally Acorn is irrelevant in the Sonic stories is because she is like a generic side character that serves the occasional narrative role of person who's in trouble that we need to save, right? Sally Acorn is not powerful because she doesn't need to be powerful to fill her narrative role, right? Her narrative role is, this is a convenient character that we can occasionally use, yeah. But, like, do you need to rewrite her? Like, is there a reason why you want her to be more powerful? Like, if you just like her and you want her to be more powerful because you want to give her, like, a more active role in the story, that is a perfectly legitimate reason to want to make her more powerful. But you need to recognize that that is what you want, right? You want Sally Acorn to be more powerful. And it's not that... And, like, at that rate, it doesn't matter if it's unfair, right? It isn't that... Then, like, the reason why it's quote-unquote unfair is because you are now putting Sally Acorn in the same situation as Sonic or Tails or any of the other main characters, right? So at that level, you need to give her power to keep up with the rest of the Sonic team. So it's not a case of, hey, it's not a case of, like, Sonic team, because she is from the Sonic team, she gets, so, like, it's not a case of she's suddenly being given power for no reason. It is, hey, I want to write a story where Sally Acorn is a more active part of the Sonic team, and, like, Sally Acorn's a, what, like a rabbit, right? No, she's a squirrel. And she's supposed to be like a strategic character, right? Why? That doesn't make sense for... Like, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense if you're making it as like a crossover kind of thing. But is there, like, a reason that... Like, if you want to, and you're saying, hey, we're making Sally Acorn, like, the insertion point for Dragon Ball Z mechanics, because, I don't know, I like Sally Acorn, and I want her to be the person who is interacting with the Dragon Ball side of this crossover. And that is why she knows stuff. But, like, the thing is, you can do that. Like, fanfiction is fanfiction. Feel free to do with that as you will. Question is this a Nino situation? Right? Nino in this case is Naruto in name only. It's like this this phenomenon that's part of fanfiction where you're basically saying, I don't really care that this is Naruto, I just want the character with this name and this appearance to act the way I want them to. Yeah, and, like, it's fine. Like, do what... So, like, you don't need to justify it. Right? After a certain point, you don't need to say, oh, like it feels unfair to have Sally be more, get power for, to get more powerful for whatever reason, right? That's not really, uh, that's not really a part of the story that you need to justify if you are deliberately making her a main character. Like, at that point, the fact that she was Mecha Sally and now she's got, like, cybernetic augments that give her the ability to project energy, like metals, Mecha Sonic or whatever the hell that Robosonic, whatever the hell that other character is, then, like, yeah, that's fine. You have chosen to elevate Sally Acorn from side character to main character. That comes with an implied upgrade in capabilities. And yeah. Potion of fire resistance. Yeah. Again, I'm not familiar enough with Sonic to really comment on that. But yeah, sure. Yeah, good. Potion of fire resistance. Oh, no worries. As with your business in middle country, with your business with your now that you have completed your business with the golden Hey Muffin, how you doing? Work today was messy, so I couldn't drop by your streams. Work. And also, for some reason, I got like an hour of sleep last night because my brain has apparently decided, hey, you got perfect sleep the night before. Well, I'm taking that sleep back with interest. So I went from my usual 5 hours of sleep a night to friggin' 1. Now that you've completed business with the building, find yourself at something loose end here in the country. Honestly, are you expected take things? So you expected to you expected things take a little longer. Still, you do have you do have quite a bit of work to deal with back in the valley. You need to finish binding the curious crow. Nice. Nice. Aw, that's unfortunate. Fighting to Keita and await the return of So question, Muffin. What's your favorite like fiction property? Because like a little while ago I was talking to Zed about like some of the stuff I find annoying in stories and stuff, so like I was talking about this with Zed earlier, which is that I find it real. Like one of the things that I don't like in stories, like I don't enjoy in stories, is like a return to the status quo. Like I really don't. So one of the things I really like writing and reading about is when the whole universe changes in response to the like events happening in the story, right? So um, when I worked on when I worked on like marching and like a bunch of my other stories, I will write about, hey, the whole world is kind of, so the whole setting is changing. Maybe not just because of the main character's actions, but also because of like other stuff. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't know why. It's really annoying. To me, at least. Await the return of Washi. But you do have say return of Washi. Since they are, since they might have been successful in their hunt. Yeah, what's some of your favorite like properties, right? Like what part of the reason I don't really like the MCU specific, like I fell off the MCU around the time of Captain America Winter Soldier because I realized that it has fallen into the problem that I have with basically there's one property that I have found that doesn't seem to hate all the smart characters. Right? Like all of the tech heroes. I think that there is like, I guess technically Teen Titans doesn't do it either. But in the broader scope of DC and Marvel, I don't think I've ever seen like one of those tech heroes end the story happy. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I also didn't like that, right? Because Loki, like, sure, Loki, quote unquote, redeems himself by going to sit on the, say, like, doing the green magic tree thing, right? Um, but, like, frankly, why is it that every time we have a character that, like, yeah, like, and then there's the Iron Man stuff in Avengers, just like, why can't any of the characters that I actually like have a happy ending? Like, I personally thought that Civil War was stupid because from any sane person's perspective, from with the, as like an inside the MCU, if you think of anybody outside the Avengers, there is a clear answer to who actually was the good guy in that situation. It is only because you are trying to root for the Avengers, like root for Captain America, that there is any doubt in that answer. Because, like, it's just so stupid, right? Like the idea that Captain America, that the rogue Avengers can be considered to be in any way right. Like the closest thing to right that they are in the whole setting um is basically that, oh, they were like, Ross was trying to turn the Avengers into government attack dogs. And like, I guess? But at the same time, just leaving the Avengers to do what they were doing has proven absolutely to be the wrong thing to do, right? You can't trust Captain America or, like, any of the other Avengers to be responsible stewards of the power that they present, right? Because they've got a mind-controlling terrorist that they have apparently decided that, hey, the fact that this person has single-handedly incited incidents that have caused, if not incredible amounts of death in the case of Johannesburg. Like, if we claim that Johannesburg had no civilian casualties, the fact that the Scarlet Witch basically used the Hulk as a weapon caused millions, if not billions of dollars of property damage. Right? You cannot treat her being, like, put under house arrest as a bad thing. She is an immense criminal that needs to be, like, prosecuted for her crimes at the very least. And they're just like, no, because she helped, like, fight in the because she helped solve the problem that she caused, somehow this absolves her of the fact that she is a massive, like, and even in Age of Ultron, she doesn't turn to the good guy side because that she has somehow come to the understanding that her stance was wrong somehow. No, she still wants to cause, like she was fully on board with she was fully on board with the whole kill all the Avengers plan until it became because Wanda is, like, everything wrong that I have with superhero comic, with the superhero, like, setting and the MCU in general, right? Because if you watch Age of Ultron, Wanda does not turn back, does not quote unquote join, like, switch sides until Ultron is about to start destroying Earth, right? Because until Ultron says that, oh, I'm going to take over the whole world and, like, destroy Slovakia, right? She doesn't actually care that he is killing shit tons of people and trying to kill all the Avengers. Wanda does not have a, oh, I am now a good guy. It is, oh, the monster I have created is going to fuck me over, right? So, in that sense, I can't call... Yeah. Like, I can't call Wanda a good guy. And the fact that she complains about being under house arrest is like... The fuck are you supposed to be, like, sympathetic about? You're not a sympathetic character. Like... Hell. Like... And then there's the whole Bucky Barnes situation, right? Which is, hey, until Captain America got involved, the Bucky Barnes situation was being solved in a way that Bucky Barnes would still be alive at the end of it. Right? Everything wrong with Captain America Captain America Civil War was either Captain America's fault or Baron Zemo's fault. And Baron Zemo was like, how the fuck did Zemo's plan even work? Because, like, it involves so many things going perfectly according to plan. I'm just like, wow, the hell? And, like, I have so many problems with Captain America being considered a good guy, right? They're, like... yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, like, it feels weird that so many people seem to think that Iron Man was the bad guy for saying, hey, I don't trust myself, right? I'm looking, I want people to be able to moderate my influence on their lives, because, like, I have obviously proven I've obviously proven to be a person who can't be trusted. Like, and even ignoring all of that, right? If we think about what Iron Man's big mistake is, right? It is creating Ultron, right? Except why was Iron Man creating Ultron? It's because no one was fucking taking him seriously about the fact that there's a giant alien army that is going to come fuck over Earth, right? The rest of the world, like after the invasion of New York, says, oh yeah, we sent like one nuke through a portal and everything is solved. We're not going to deal with the fact that there is an entire alien armada coming to, like, attack Earth, right? Imagine what would have happened if at the end of Avengers 1, Tony tells everyone that, hey, when I saved New York by manhandling a nuke and shooting it through this portal, what I saw on the other side was an alien fleet with, like, thousands, like, a bunch of different ships, and I blew up one of them, right? They have no reason to believe that the reason that Chitauri, like, they have no reason to believe that the Chitauri was everything, right? From what, like, the whole Avengers movie plot is, like, really stupid to begin with, right? Like, they kind of explain it later, but, like, think about it like this. Loki goes from falling off the Bifrost, being presumed dead, to taking over Earth with an entire army. Like, where the fuck did he get an entire army? And, like, why is he trying to take over Earth, right? Until now, Loki hasn't shown any interest in taking over Earth, right? They were at most interested in the throne of Asgard, and even that is kind of questionable, right? Because they were super interested in the throne of Asgard is, they said that Thor was going to be a really bad king, and they wanted recognition for the fact that they felt like they were being treated like shit. And, like, sure? Like, how does that translate to, I now want to take over Earth to spite Thor? Like, what? Yeah, so we start over there, right? So there are a bunch of questions that aren't answered. Like, where the fuck did Loki get the Chitauri? Where the fuck did Loki get the scepter? Where the fuck did, like, all of this happen, right? And why the fuck did Loki choose such an absolutely shitty plan, right? I could come up with a better plan than Loki in 3 minutes. It's so shitty. So. But yeah, like, I just feel frustrated that it's so hard to find a story where like the intelligent characters, like the characters that are like part of their character is being intelligent, where they actually uh get treated well in the story. Okay, Wonder Hunt. But none of those are pressing. Matters. And you do have a little time here. Feel free to be rude. I will not take any offense. Oh yeah, no worries. I'm not directing it to you. It's just a pet peeve. Yeah. It's just a pet peeve I have, and I don't know, I like ranting about it sometimes. But those are pressing matters, and you do have little percent. You can take. I am not mad at anyone. It's just like a thing that annoys me. That, like, for some reason, the only place I can find the stories that I like are in fanfiction. Which tropes? Like the pervert mentor trope? Yeah, I find that annoying too. But not as annoying as I find the whole, oh no, we can't have intelligent characters be happy. Oh yeah, that's always lazy. Oh yeah, I'm not doing anything for Christmas because, well, I don't actually have the time to. Last year, on the solstice, which would be in about 2 days, I did a 24-hour stream, but I do not have the throughput to do that this year. I mean, it is technically on a Sunday, so I could, but I do not have the throughput for it this year, unfortunately. Because, like, I have a bunch of stuff that I need to deal with. I'll be responding to questions at least when the stream starts. Post time. I will try to be more responsive than that, though. Yeah, like, because... Like, last year I did do a 24-hour stream, and that was fun. But... frankly, there's a bunch of stuff that I need to deal with on my own time that I need to find time for. And... I just don't have it right now. You can take some time here in the middle country if you need to. Perhaps explore some of the interesting vegetables that the golden king has had his people breed. Now? What's now? Yeah, I'm not mad at all. No, the me not doing anything for Christmas is A, I don't celebrate Christmas anyways, and B, I don't have the mental throughput for other stuff because work is a pain in my ass. Hey Koba, how you doing? Nice to hear, nice to hear. Ooh. Yeah, like, as I said, I dropped off the MCU back, like, around the time of Winter Soldier, right? Because that's when I realized that, oh, this is going the same way as all of my, let's say, all of my comic stories. All of this, like, comic stories I'm aware of. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. I am absolutely not upset in any way. I'm just passionate about the fact that, like, I'm just passionate about the fact that, stories like this are just annoying for me. That's all. Okay. Night muffin. Or talk, or perhaps tries. I try and make some connections. Possible trading. Maybe even you do feel wary about bringing up Bringing up possible expansion to the heartlands. Expansion of the KCC network to the heartlands. The way that the golden is making you feel a little less confident about your prior approach. Inside and out. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Okay. Back. Um. We tripped out from club. Change radio. Mention how to look for What was once small industry? Once a small collection, employee housing, and um, um, uh, a small um, uh, um, Evolved into a proper city. Between the wall, between sea of ACS. Ring of shining ACS canopies, rounded actual walls. Tall, hard, locked, housed Oh, am I being too quiet? Sorry about that. Oh. Pull up. Complex. The bit complex. Standing at the center. Dominating. Standing proud against one just outside the walls. Actual wall settlement. The bit complex. Standing proud. Like a castle at the center. Passing him. the house rather. Let's see the hive of activity that have built up in only a few years. Yes. In a small collection, merchants that you may have invited during the initial construction. Dozens more. There were businesses of all down line the main road. Theaters and bars. Even barbers. Establish and as had established that didn't count the bears. Uh, oh, um, there's markets that were empty this early. Rolling into the uh, was quickly led latch into the main building where Race and Arbel were waiting for. What do you think of Oliver? We've grown quite a lot. Though I think this town eBay. Grayson. Arvel. It does, doesn't it? Grayson. Bro, his eyes. It's not like we can really do anything about putting any more stepping space between us and the city would turn into a massive wall that many attackers can hide behind. Just joking. Whatever. Looks great. Grayson. Snap. The fastest settlement on and possibly the second and the richest per capita in terms of median income. Ever since we started expanding into ore processing, we've seen immense growth. The process. But there's I need to talk. And they both. What is it? It's nothing confirmed. Been confirmed. Nothing. Confirmed. Jim began with a frown. Hello. But I have a feeling that another expansion isn't. But something. But we can't. But I don't think we can afford to skimp on our defenses going forward. I've looked over the reports you guys sent recently, and there's been seeing signs that the invaders are adapting to defenses. Grayson. Is going to bring up. Arbel nodded. That's why I've been working on expanding the the battle experimental attack. I remember you weren't very clear about that. Grayson. Hung his head. Has a bright smile. Quickly split Arbel's face. You remember the mercenary gods that we hired previously? Given that there was something of apparently they expanded and then they expanded based on the apparently so apparently the higher ups got sick of the garrison. The garrison duty. But I didn't want to leave behind the locust. So The split between the members that were happy with the work and the members that wanted wanted in on the Grand Mistress's anti-pirate contracts. The people that stay anti-pirate. So you hired him on? He nodded. He nodded eagerly. Yep. I, we've, we, things, things are still being sorted out, especially with the expansion to Illyria. But, the vital test, experimental battalion. But, they've been doing a good job. Good job. But we need to discuss an expansion. A couple. So we need more material, especially since the alats are becoming will become obstructed if the city grows too much more. We should probably move those soon. Anyways, I've got some ooh, nice. Oh, I like onions. I've been known to eat raw onions, and they taste fine. Should probably move on to those soon. Move those soon. Usually they're sliced and like dressed as part of a salad, though. Yes, they do. Cool. Uh, uh, yeah. Aim for a shawarma, that makes sense. Probably will go through this. We can't afford to have this place anything less than well protected. We could probably yeah. I'm going to end the stream now because I can't focus for long enough to finish this. It's just like another 250 words. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna try. As long as I can hit the last 250 words, I'll be good. Well, 265 words. I'll probably do something. Do something about the... and we could probably work some of the local fortifications. Turn the city into the Grayson. That good. Oh, so no. What are you talking about? Well, if we need to do a lot of building, anyways, we might, well, might as well expand. So might as well build out Blaberg. Just imagine having the Alats on top of skyscraper, on top of skyscrapers like the ones on boat. Save, and we want to here. Yeah, we're still at 60. Why in the world would you want to do that? Might as well build up a little bit properly. A little expansion. Got it's growing, but it will begin to sprawl soon if we don't do something about it. And having some time will be immensely useful. And being able to place the alats and the Osmo launchers higher will be. But mainly, I want to see if we can get. Oh wait, anything left? No. Just local defenses aren't going to be enough. What are you talking about? We say, I've got some designs. Did Jun already give Grayson the Cortom? Okay. We need core toms here on Daria. And I've been upgrading the satellite designs so that we can actually make use of them properly. We can't afford to we have uh, um, that the attempt that attempt so that say that last assault that last assault using technical was far closer. Technical was far closer than I. Technicals might actually get into the outskirts of, and I don't want to. We can't really. What is yeah, it's good. Oh, white. Wow. You could do. Real risk isn't that they deal some damage. Please. Do you think that the Grand Mistress will go for it? Is not really a problem. Can wave out into the waved out words towards. Now that I've seen how much that has expanded, more than I thought it needed, more than I initially thought. We haven't. We probably need some more. Need to work on countering that sprawl. Otherwise, the old layout would have, say, the technicals, we say, our allies have had enough overlapping firing zones that the technical assault on the pirates would need far more technicals to pull off what they did against here, but frankly, if they were able to do it once, I don't see why they couldn't do it again. We know that But if the the buildings are already tall enough that they are starting to provide cover for targets that get. Actually, how tall are the alats? 30 meters, yeah. How does that get close enough? And I don't think that's what the experimental Italian. Sorry. That's what the expansion of the experimental battalion is for. Anything that it should provide us with plenty of defense against anything that closes in on we do that too, but we also make sure that we aren't caught off guard by anything else that they might try against. They might try. I have a bad feeling that the alats haven't spread far. I get the feeling that if they are developing a we know that there are people in for attacks against us, and if are working on strategies counter the allies. pause mode. We need to that we are plus and that too. In fact, bring on your bring them in on this. I want both say we need to have I want what we build up here since we are working on the complex working on the I'm planning on setting up defenses for the expansion when I go there. And we might as well get we might as well get both of them done together. Cut. That sounds great. No, I agree with. As we're sitting, we have so. Especially since we have plans to expand. I assume that you have more see plans to expand. Region. Especially since we're already working on expanding things here with the mining things. Yeah. I'll get in touch with not Bolin, Lothario. Lothian League is which? Yeah, I'm just gonna do all categories. I'll get in touch with Joanna. And let's see about let's see about arranging a meeting for us to discuss. Also, hold on, who's the mayor? Mayor. You're head of human resources, Arvel, right? I'll find Grayson. These eyes. Well, if we're doing this, we should so we might as well make the expansion worth. Do you have any plans for us to work on? Hey, we just got into the next one. Never. So roll. We've got browse, upload. Actually, browse. Downloads. Roll forestry and then. Oh. Okay. Surgeon nodded. Surgeon smiled as the Vision wash over. Yes. I think I do. And that's all for today, folks. I think we posted the last chapter of the story fairly recently, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, it was only Sunday. It was only like a week ago. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, that's end of stream today. Bye.